As updates come in, and as you can see here, we got some planes going by. These are fighting the fire. They take the water from the lakes, and they're going to the site of the Jenkins Creek fire right now.
He joins us from a still very active scene in Ocala. And Ryan, what else have you learned tonight?
Yeah, so we've just learned about Castillo's death in the last hour, and I spoke with a neighbor who described a very chaotic scene here on Monday. Family was gathered for a game night when suddenly dozens of deputies drove by and gunfire ensued.
Hoyt Lakes residents are now in a set mode, meaning they need to pack their valuables and get prepared to evacuate at a moment's notice if need be. I'm going to step aside here so you can get a real good look at these windy conditions. You see these waves coming off on Colby Lake here in Hoyt Lakes as strong wind gusts are coming in from the east right into Hoyt Lakes. In the air, you can see some visible smoke, and on the ground here, you can smell it too. Well, another day passes and the Jenkins Creek fire continues to rage on, but that large thunderstorm that we got today gave the city its first rainfall that we've seen in days and gave the firefighters a bit of a reprieve from fighting the 15,000-acre Jenkins Creek fire.
Yeah, Robert, this is the second of 3 planned protests against the Trump administration and specifically their policies regarding immigration enforcement. Now, protesters here tell me on the 1-year anniversary of President Trump's second term that they have serious concerns about ICE enforcement.
Nurses actually worked without a contract and actually walked off the job before a deal was finally reached between the two sides.
I spoke with Mike Warren, who's been coming to this event his entire life. He says he's never seen this level of policing at his community's Easter celebration. Warren was here at Annie Maddox Park and says he saw the Columbia County Sheriff Wallace Kitchens standing on top of a law enforcement vehicle. Warren shared with us this photo that shows just that. He says seeing the sheriff on top of the vehicle in his own neighborhood was intimidating and called it inappropriate for a gathering where people were trying to have a good time. Yeah, Robert, I'm on US 19 about halfway between Bronson and Inglis, and if you take a look over this shoulder, you see some clear blue skies as forecasted today. But over my other shoulder here, you see this large plume of smoke and some darker spots just developing now in the last few minutes.
TV20's Ryan Hayes spoke with people who watched the Christmas lights get replaced by police lights.
When Columbia County Sheriff's deputies arrived on scene, they arrested 53-year-old Johnny McNutt on a charge of second-degree attempted murder for shooting a victim in the head while he was sitting in a chair.
I mean, it made me sick to my stomach, honestly. You know, it's broad shock. I was speechless. You know, I was trying to find out things about it because, you know, I'm obviously very curious about it, but stuff happens.
Tyler Petrovich was returning from work when he saw an active crime scene take over Cullen Avenue on Christmas Day.
I was driving home, I was picking up my girlfriend, and we parked in the yard, and I see a bunch of police cars outside, a lot of undercover with the caution tape.
Columbia County Sheriff's deputies arrested 53-year-old Johnny McNutt on a charge of second-degree attempted murder. Deputies say McNutt admitted to shooting the victim, who he had gotten into a fight with just before the shooting. McNutt then retrieved his gun and shot the victim once in the head. Petrovich says he's had encounters with McNutt before and says that he suffers from mental health issues.
All I know is that he was not right in the head, and he just needed help.
McNutt is in the Columbia County Jail without bond. This remains an active investigation. Reporting in Fort White, Ryan Hayes, TV 20 News. 1,300 people in just 5 days agree Charlie's Bar in Old Town needs safety improvements. A petition calls for an investigation into the bar, a temporary suspension of operations, and stronger enforcement of safety policies.
The bar should be shut down until people can have the proper training that they need to de-escalate any type of situation.
Viral videos online show a fight at the bar last week. Family has identified 21-year-old Ashley Partain as one of the people in the video, the same woman who was hit and killed on US 19 last week. Ashley's brother, Jeffrey Partain, told TV20 in part, "The videos circulating on social media are sickening, but are vital in helping us figure out what happened that night."
Don't leave your friends hanging at the bar. If you feel like someone is too drunk or anything like that, give them some water or have them sit down.
TV20 reached out to Charlie's Bar for comment, but have not yet heard back.
Everybody pray about it, man. Keep God and your family safe.
Brush fires have sparked across north central Florida, prompting mandatory evacuations across Levy County. Vinny Mignon is praying everyone makes it out safe.
I'm more worried about everybody else around here, man. There's a lot of elderly people, and I got a really good buddy of mine who's like on dialysis.
He's most worried for those who have trouble getting around. Mignon wants to stay home but is preparing to leave at a moment's notice.
I'm gonna go home and start packing some stuff.
Something Florida Forest Service official Dr. Ludi Bond says is vital you do if you're given the order to evacuate.
Don't take them lightly. Be prepared now to evacuate should you need to, because as we've seen, these fires grow very rapidly and they change direction.
Bond says the firefight is ongoing and changing by the minute.
We've had multiple homes that were told to evacuate and that are considered threatened. And we've had several helicopters up in the air dropping water to slow the progress of the fire and try to get those spot fires under containment.
Officials are stressing attention to detail when it comes to fire safety and are reminding people to not burn if your county is under a burn ban. Reporting in Levy County, Ryan Hayes, TV 20 News.
Suwannee County deputies are warning drivers of smoke near Dowling Park coming from a brush fire. And meanwhile, Democrat David Jolly made a stop in Ocala today, making his plea to voters in more traditionally conservative areas. TV 20's Ana Alvarez joins us live outside the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. Ana, what did Jolly share with you in terms of policies he'll be focusing on in this race? Hello and welcome to your weekend report. I'm Ryan Hayes. Ocala police officers are closing the Paddock Mall this Mother's Day after someone pulled out a gun inside. The family is demanding answers after a 22-year-old inmate died while in state custody. Loved ones gathered at the Columbia Correctional Institution today calling for clarity and accountability. TV 20's Radesha Robinson spoke with the inmate's mother, who shares her story and questions she has about her son's death. 3 American soldiers and dozens more across the Middle East have been killed amid conflict in Iran. Coming up at 11, we'll show you how North Central Florida's residents and elected leaders are reacting to the strikes. Dry weather conditions and wind help propel flames 50 feet into the sky. TV 20's Radesha Robinson shows us crews in action as they work to contain the fire's spread. Well, the Education Foundation of Alachua County hosted their 15th annual gala last night, and myself and Hawa Ezel had such a great time emceeing the event. You could see us up there doing our thing. The event's theme was red carpet, honoring stars of education, and all of the education stars came out as they celebrated another great year and talked about some of the district's flagship programs. A big thank you to the Education Foundation for being such great hosts. Today we are celebrating a very, very special birthday. It's the birthday of the first ever forecaster. Autumn, this guy is responsible for your job.
Yes, he is.
British Captain Robert Fitzroy published the first public weather forecast on this date in 1861. It gave the weather for that day and the next, classifying conditions as fine, fair, rainy, or stormy. It seems like you couldn't really figure it out. And I guess it's supposed to be kind of like Florida. You know, you never really know. You might get fine weather, you might get humid weather, a lot of storms too.
Yes, and rainy. We've been getting a lot of that. You know.
Well, the NFL draft is right around the corner, but before that, of course, the Combine. TV 20's Carson Loki breaks down all the Gator performances.